Today we are going to be taking a look at the latest Minecraft update, the Pale Garden, and seeing if we can survive while exploring what this update is all about. What's the new biome like? What kind of new blocks and items are there? And most importantly, who is this? So let's get into it and see what we can uncover while trying our best to survive. Alright, so here we are in the brand new Pale Garden and yep, definitely lives up to the name. What are these? Eye blossoms. Okay, so these must be the new flowers. However, I feel like I can't get too hung up on like flowers and foliage just yet because we are in survival and, well, we're gonna have to try to survive the night. So let's first get to work on the basics because I heard that there's somebody around here that we need to watch out for. All right, looks like we've got enough wood for a crafting table, so let's get a couple of essentials. I think it would be wise to craft myself an axe, a pickaxe, and you know what? A sword. Hey, although they're made of wood and they're very basic, it's honestly better than nothing. So with all of that, let's grab this crafting table and yeah. Don't judge me, I'm leaving this half chopped. So as far as I know, in the Pale Garden, no mobs spawn outside of like the hostile mobs. So we're not gonna find any chickens, sheep, cows. I think they all simply know something's up within this Pale Garden and they probably don't wanna be any part of this. All we're gonna find probably are like creepers, zombies, skeletons, and of course the creaking. However, from the tales I've heard, it only comes out around nighttime. Now I'm not gonna lie, the creaking sounds pretty terrifying, but maybe if I go down into the caves to gather up some stuff to help get me through the night, then it won't be so scary, right? Now, first things first, I do need like a little bit of coal for torches and stuff. However, oh no, there's skeletons, zombies. It's so dark in here. Ah, there's some coal. It's fine. As long as we have our own personal nightlight to get us through this night, we'll be okay. Somebody please give me a torch. I'll do anything. Okay, now we're cooking. Look at that. Think better to be safe than sorry and collect a little bit more of this coal. We can't forget that the creaking is probably not the only hostile mob around. There's gonna be zombies, creepers, skeletons. So I think it's best that we prepare ourselves. Now, as much as I would like to venture further into those caves to collect some iron for, you know, armor, tools, I think I've got to get out of here and find some food. I'm already down 1 heart and there's no way I have even a slight chance of surviving the night if I don't have anything to replenish my health. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's moss. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that. Okay. I'm out here fighting for my life right now, so I can't really focus on that, but we're gonna have to come back to that. So since mobs don't spawn in this biome, I think what I'm gonna have to do is go into a surrounding biome and get ourselves some food. Chicken, right there. Perfect. Let me cook. We're cooking. Yep. I feel better. All right, I've got myself 3 cooked chickens, but we should probably find a bit more food. If we're gonna be trying to survive this night without any armor, we're definitely gonna have to have some food with us. Also, if we could find some sheep so I don't necessarily have to stay awake the whole night, that would be nice. Listen, I wanna see the creaking and I wanna experience it, but I also wanna be able to bail out of that situation if I have to. Is that too much to ask? Found more food? I'm sorry. I just need to survive. No thoughts, just food. Oh, finally! Sheep! Oh, this is perfect. Okay, we have a couple different kinds of sheep though. So the best way to go about this is, of course, to grab some of these flowers. Let's grab some dye out of that. We'll dye you, and you. And with that, I do apologize, sheep. I really need a bed. So let's go ahead and craft ourselves a bed just in case. Listen, it's better to just be prepared in case of a worst case scenario. I mean, look at this place. It's terrifying. All right, so now that I have some basics of survival, I think now what I need to do is, well, try to survive in this new biome. Whoa. Okay, wait, did any of you notice that? The sky is just like clear blue over here. And then when you walk towards this biome, watch it. It goes gray. That is scary. It also doesn't help that nighttime is on its way as well. So, you know, I'm a little bit afraid right now. What was that? I heard something. All right, it is nighttime. So I think we've got to tough it out. I think we've got to stay up the night to find this creaking because I mean, there it is. I didn't even have to look. Okay, if I stare at it, it stays still. However, if I look away, I can hear, whoa, it hit me. Ow, that was not nice, dude. What was that? It just smacked me. Okay, what if I do that again? You're quick. you moved so fast. I thought you were gonna be a lot slower. Oh, this is terrifying. Okay, what happens if I hit you? Are those particles kind of showing me? Ow! Are they showing me where its heart is? Because I know based on the information Minecraft has given us that its heart is in one of these trees. So I need to go find it. Oh, uh-oh, we've got skeletons too. Oh, this is difficult. Oh, wait, is this it? I think this is it. I see resin. All right, I'm gonna have to take care of this skeleton. Get out of here. All right, well, I feel like you've led me to your tree. However, where is this heart, buddy? I grabbed resin. If I hit this, it drops resin. Now, where is your heart, though? I can hear it beating. It's gotta be in this tree somewhere. I just have to keep eyes on it while I look. Hey! Oh no, I lost my axe. Okay, you stay there. Hopefully no creeper comes up behind me because I'm busy. I've gotta make a new axe so you know I can take your heart and all that stuff. It's not personal. Oh, I think I see it. That's it. Ah! Oh, it's mad. It's mad. Okay, the heart's right there. What happens if I take it? I don't know if I can break this with a wooden axe. It worked. Oh, it's gone. Let's go. Okay, that is so cool. Well, I think I'm gonna take a bunch of this resin and I think I'm gonna see what I can do with it because that's pretty neat. Also, these flowers, these are the eye blossoms, aren't they? Do they open up at night? Because if so, that is so cool. Whoa, they opened. That is so cool. What? Wow, these are very pretty. Oh, and if you pick them up during the nighttime, they stay open in your inventory. Interesting. I wonder if that means I'll be able to put them in a flower pot if they're open. We're gonna take that just to see. Well, I did not expect to see a creaking so soon. Like, that literally shocked me. It just appeared out of nowhere, and they're super quick. There's another one. What happens if I sleep at night, though? Not that I'm afraid or anything, I just need to know. How does this work? Oh, it's just watching me now? What's that over there? Oh, those are just the eyelets. They're totally meant to trick you, too. That is not fair. Okay, I'm gonna back away slowly. Just see if I can, you know, sleep here. It doesn't seem to be approaching me. I think we're fine. Oh, okay, so it's daytime and the creaking has now vanished. To where? Not really sure, but also it's none of my business. Which means now that I've seen the creaking, we've gotten that part over with, I can kind of explore what this biome is all about. Like, what does this wood type even really look like, you know? Whoa! I just found a creaking heart. Also, I feel kind of bad, but I kind of want to, like, break this just in case. Let's go. Ow! Oh, no! All right, another thing we have to worry about still, other mobs. We still gotta keep our eyes peeled during the daytime because they seem to be crawling around here. Ah, and look at that. These flowers are back to being closed again. That is so cool. Now, amongst these trees, there's also a lot of foliage. I say we head down into the caves to gather up some iron so we could shear some of those and see what they look like. Also, I just noticed the color of this water is pale as well. Pretty much everything in this biome seems to be desaturated. Stuff like that definitely adds to the really eerie vibe around here. I really do get the sense here that although I can't see anything around, it feels like something's watching me. So now that I've run into the creaking, I think maybe what I should do is better equip myself to spend a couple more nights in here. So we've got an idea of what the creaking is all about. However, I'd love to get a sense of what these blocks are like to build with. So why don't we take the challenge of trying to survive in the Pale Garden a bit further by building a nice little starter home. But in order to do that, we of course need to gather up a couple more resources to get ourselves situated. All right, let's pop in this iron for some shears so we can check out all of the vines hanging around. I mean, realistically, I probably should be making like a shield or armor because, you know, the creaking actually does do damage, but no, I want to shear those trees because it looks like those vines could be super cool to build with. Listen, I'm always just thinking about building, okay? We'll worry about all the combat and stuff later, it's fine. All right, with our first little bit of iron, let's make ourselves some shears. And we're just gonna pack up this little station and make our way back up. All right, so now that I'm up here, I've immediately noticed, I think we've also got ourselves some roots as well that hang from the trees. Oh, no, it's pale hanging moss. Interesting. So what can I do with this? I guess just, well, you know, hang it. The interesting thing about it though is it can only be sheared. If you try to break it, seems like it just kind of disappears. So we got to be really careful with that by shearing it. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. So it all seems to be the same. Ah! Creepers, am I right? Well, I mean, at least it gave me, you know, a couple little pieces of wood. We got some moss out of that. I mean, it's not all bad, is it? That was just terrifying. All right, so if you do try hanging the moss, you can make it like as long as you want. I'm wondering if it grows on its own. I'm assuming it does. It's probably like glowberries, but that's pretty cool. Another thing that I'm really curious about is actually all of this moss. I want to know what happens if you bone meal it. Like, how does this stuff grow? Because I noticed that with this moss carpet, some of it is starting to grow onto the tree. So I'm kind of wondering, if I have a block right here, let's say like 3 blocks, what happens if I throw some bone meal on it? It does actually grow up onto it. Look at that. Whoa. Okay, and it's part of the carpet as well. It's not part of this mossy bit. It's specifically part of the moss carpet, actually. So what if this has, whoa! If it has more space to grow, then it will also grow higher. That's cool. But it seems to only grow to this height. Okay. I feel like we've got some stuff to work with in terms of building, honestly. I'm also happy that you don't really have to bone meal anything to get that effect. All you have to do is simply place some of this carpet, which is really easy to come by. So I guess with all of that, I'm kind of thinking maybe what we need to do to protect ourselves from the creaking is build ourselves a little bit of a structure. Now, if we need a structure, we of course need resources. So I think I'm just gonna start collecting up some wood, and then we'll figure out what goes best with this pale oak log so we can make something cute. So I spent some time clearing out an area for our house while gathering up some materials for my build. Found another heart there. Let's just, you know, get rid of that one. Yep, there we go. Whoa! That gave us a ton of XP. Okay, sweet. All right, it's nighttime. The creakings are coming out. Oh no, I'm scared. Oh! Okay, there's one there. Just stay calm. I need to build a chest so I can put my valuables aside in case of bad things happening. Also, I am going to lay down my bed for respawn in case, like I said, bad things happening. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit frightened right now. I really don't like the noises in this forest. It's so concerning! What do you want from me? Stop it! Do you have something to say? Okay, your little heart's in there. You gave it away. And because you're gonna get so close to me, I'm gonna have to get rid of it, okay? Sorry. This is so tricky. Ah! All right, it's right here. I've got eyes on it. Now I just need to find its heart. Ah! Stop looking at me like that. Ow! Ow! It hits pretty hard. I wonder though, do you think it can get me from up here? I don't think it can. This is perfect. Now where's the heart? There it is. All right, let's get rid of this. See you later, bye! Oh, there's another one coming for me. I think I'm just gonna have to spend the rest of the night up here. So I spent the evening hiding amongst the treetops, trying to collect whatever resources I could to make use of the time. There's 4 of them down there right now. The sun is coming up though, and I want to see where they go when the sun fully rises. Oh! Well... they disintegrate. That's what happens. I guess that solves that mystery. All right, so now that all those creakings are gone, I think I can finally get down from these trees. However, I am probably gonna have to watch out for other mobs, considering I spent the night awake. But I think today's task is simply going to involve chopping down the remainder of these trees and clearing out a space for the build. All right, so I have a feeling nighttime is approaching soon. Is it? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Either way, I'm kind of doing a personal challenge where I'm just seeing if I can stay alive through the night. But in order to do that tonight, I have a plan. What if I put a bunch of fencing along here so the creaking can't get to me? I have a feeling they're just like all the other mobs where they won't be able to get past a fence. So I think it's worth a shot. Oh no, this was a good idea in theory, but the sun's already setting. Ah! Okay, well, I have a fence around me, so that's great. But what do I do now? I may not have thought this idea through very well. All right, you see me, I see you. Can you get me in this fencing? No way, it can't. You can't get past a simple fence. Oh, this is glorious. Okay, I feel invincible. I mean, I am in a little bit of a pen right now, so this isn't great. I can't do much with what I've got, but at least I know I'm safe and I can build one of these around my house to reinforce it a bit more. Well, I guess that means since this Creaking is probably going to be watching me the entire night, I can't really do much but sit here. So sit around I did. Yes, for the entire night. The only thing that truly kept me sane this entire night was running back and forth and watching the Creaking chase after me. It's the little things. Oh! Well, I guess daytime has arrived. Well, I survived another day in the Pale Garden, and I think this fence strategy actually worked out quite well. So I think before I do anything else today, I'm gonna extend the perimeter of this fencing. That way we can easily continue building into the night if we have to. All right, we've got a plot all sectioned off, and I think we're good to go for that. Now, we have tons of pale oak logs, which is great because we're gonna need them for building. However, I'd like to mix in some other blocks with this palette as well. Now, I don't think I'd like to use any different types of woods from other biomes, because I'd like to see what I could make with the pale oak wood. However, I think deep slate could complement this wood really nicely. So I think that means we've got to make a trip into these caves to gather up some materials. Once I had found deep slate, I spent pretty much the rest of the day gathering up as much as I could. I also made sure to stop and gather up any other materials that may help us with building. Alrighty, so we're back at our base, and I think we pretty much have everything we need to begin building this house. Now, to begin, we have a little bit of light terraforming to do to flatten this space out, but that's not really much of an issue. Alright, this spot is all flattened and cleared up, and I think this is more than enough room for us to build a nice little house. So I think the very first thing I'd like to start off with is getting rid of this floating log. Didn't notice that until now, but it's gotta go. And with that out of the way, I think I'm gonna begin this build by laying out the foundation. That is looking good to me. It fills the space perfectly, and I think that's a solid amount of space for a starter home. Now with that, we can begin putting the beams up. And then, of course, after that, the next step is to fill in these walls. So this is where I'm going to be using the pale oak planks. I think this build is going to end up looking quite moody with this deep slate combo, but that's okay. I think it'll fit right in place within this biome. This is actually a really cool wood type to work with. I feel like the logs and planks complement deep slate really nicely. That to me looks like such a nice combo. Alrighty, so with most of the structure in place, I'm going to get to work on the roof. Then by the time we finish this up, all we'll really have to do is decorate and make a nice interior, and then it'll be done. All right, nighttime is upon us, and here is where this fence once again gets put to the test. Is it going to keep me safe while we're building through the night? I sure hope so. So, surrounded by fencing, I continued working away through the night on the build. I could hear the Creaking following me every which way while I was building, but they simply just couldn't get past the fence. It was awesome. Working away through the night brought me into morning, where I was once again safe from the Creaking. And I had also made quite a bit of progress on the house as well. So with a full day ahead of me, I continued working on the house. Alright, so after spending some time on the structure, I think I've got a really good shape to work with. Now, pretty much all I have to do is, well, decorate this. Now, the first thing that we're gonna need is a door. And I'm wondering what these pale oak doors look like. So let's pop one right here, and ooh, that's nice. It actually has a very similar design to the spruce door. I think I like that. The next unknown that I have is what the trap doors look like. Maybe we can place some on the tops of these windows to give them a little bit of shape. And yeah, I like these ones. We have a lot of trapdoor designs that have gaps in them, so to get another solid one is really nice. I think I'm gonna use these for some of the bigger windows. And then underneath, I'll just place some fencing. So I worked away for the night, continuing to add details to the build. I am slowly venturing out for flowers. This is very dangerous, but I really want these for my garden, so I am going to risk it. I think it's best if I run now. Ah! Morning came around and I had made some pretty good progress on the build. The exterior is pretty much done. I really like all the details I've added to it, but the only thing that's bothering me is none of this dirt has turned back into grass, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's It's a little bit strange because it's been a good couple days or so. I'm kind of wondering, just because it's surrounded all by moss, that it maybe isn't growing because it doesn't have any grass to grow with. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, I'm gonna spend some time turning this into moss. Last but not least, to complete the outside, I think I'm gonna add a nice little stone path. And then we'll frame it up with some fencing and flowers. After I finished the exterior, I got to work on building out a nice little interior that had all the basics for survival. What? How did you spawn in here? Oh no, has it been in that tree all along? Oh, I thought I was being so clever with this. Your heart is further away. How could this happen? I think the best defense against these creaking are, well, sleep, which I can't do. I mean, I guess at least I have this cozy house to hang out in. But all in all, my plan clearly failed. Alrighty, it is morning, so that creaking is gone and away from the house. Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise, so I guess in a way the fence didn't really work. However, I think I still feel a lot safer with having a bit of a perimeter around. I think a good strategy if you're ever going to build in a pale garden though is honestly a house with a bed. Just make sure you sleep at night, honestly. Then you're pretty much fine. But yeah, this is the little starter home that I ended up building in the pale garden. And I think it turned out really cute. We've got a nice little walkway leading into the house. And on the inside, I just tried to make it as cozy as possible. Now, we didn't really have all of the materials at our disposal, so I think I did a pretty good job considering we didn't have things like bookshelves, paintings, and just like other decorations that you can add to the build. However, I've got a nice little living space so I can chill and hang out, some storage hanging around, a little workstation, and of course, a place to sleep. Now, I highly recommend, if you're building in the pale garden, just make sure you've got a place to sleep. Oh, I almost forgot, resin. I want to check this out really quickly before we wrap things up. So, in order to make a resin block, you have to fill the entire crafting table with it. And that gives you a block of resin. So, it is pretty expensive to make. It does instantly break though, which is really cool. Let's craft up a little bit more. That is quick. Wow, cool. Now, I'm pretty sure with the resin, you can make other blocks with it. However, unfortunately, I don't think I have enough for that. Either way, it looks like a really cool addition to all these Minecraft blocks, especially if you can build with it. I mean, look at the contrast between it and the pale wood. It just looks so cool. Even this block of resin alone could probably be used for so many fun little ideas. So although unfortunately I don't have enough to actually make like a building block out of it, I'm happy I was at least able to make a block of resin to see what it looks like. Well everyone, I think that's gonna be it for our exploration of the Pale Garden. Thank you all so much for coming on this little adventure with me and checking out the new update. Let me know what you think of the new biome, the new mob, and all of the features added to this update. So with all of that, I'll see you all on our next adventure.